Hello there, YouTubers. How long has it been since I did my last weaving video? It's been ages, it seems like. I'm warping up the loom now. You can kind of see that in back of me. And I have always had a hard time when I do a fairly long warp. The threads kind of get tangled, especially since I tend to do this all by myself. I don't have someone holding the tension perfectly for me in the back. So I'm always trying to figure out ways to put a little bit of tension on the warp as I wind it on to the back beam, and to try and keep things straight and under about equal tension. So like I say, I've tried a million different methods, it seems like, and I'm trying another new one today. So I'm remembering back to the class I took at Vav Stuga. I guess it was about 3 years ago, 3.5 years, something like that. And now Becky's looms are the Swedish looms and mine's a Dutch loom, and they're totally different styles. But one of the things that Becky had there for one of the warps that we used was she had kind of like a trapeze arrangement where the warp came out of the loom and then it went under a bar and then it went way up over the top of a bar trapeze, and then she hung weights from it at the bottom. So we had a really long warp, and to keep enough tension on it at a long distance, that being at the other end of the loom, you know, she used that trapeze to get a much longer piece in the same amount of floor space. So it went up and the warp went vertical. So I decided I'm going to try and build something like that for my loom. But obviously I can't use the same method she did because the loom is different. So I've gone and built an attachment to my weaving bench. And the warp is coming off the loom, going over the top of the castle like it always does, through the rattle. It's my homemade rattle, you've seen that before. And then it's going up over this monstrous trapeze type thing. So I'm gonna disconnect the camera from the tripod and go over and show you that mess and show you the path that the threads are following as I wind them onto the loom. I'm not sure if I'm going to recommend this as the right way to do things in the future, because this is an experiment and I haven't gotten far enough with it yet to know if I'm happy. But I figured I'd show you what I'm doing as I work on it. So let's take a look. Okay, so here's the loom. You can see I'm just starting to wind on to the back beam there. Thread comes up this way through the lee sticks, through my handy homemade rattle, which is just basically a board with a bunch of cotter pins in it. And then we come over here, and here's the new part. You can kind of see the new piece of wood. I built it in to my loom bench, and it's detachable. It comes off real easily. It's just done with a couple of carriage bolts and a few wing nuts. So that goes through there. I've got a wooden dowel here. It's a 3/4 inch dowel, and I'm not sure if that was big enough. It's bending a little bit in the middle under tension. So then the warp is going up like this all the way to the top, and yes, I do have choke ties in my warp as it goes up there. So now it's fairly straight through there. I mean, there's a little bit of twist, but not bad. We're going to go around the back side. So these vertical bars are pieces of 1x3, and then I've got a piece of 1x2 going across, and I've got another piece of doweling at the very top. Then the warp is just hanging down past another choke tie down to here and sitting on the floor. And it seems like right now at least just the friction of going around these couple of bars is enough that I've got a fairly even tension over here as I wind through the lee sticks and around the back beam. So, and I think what I'll do is, as it gets farther up and I have a little bit less of all of this stuff hanging, I may put a few weights on it to keep tension when I get closer to the end. But that's my latest attempt to keep tension on my warp as I'm winding it onto the loom. Like I say, I'll tell you at the end of this project whether or not this really worked. But I just thought I'd show it to you as a start for now.